The investors' need for higher returns can possibly shift certain things in the financial market. If you check right now, there is a large movement of funds from the fixed deposits in various banks to the mutual funds. And why is this happening? See, just to give you some numbers, right? As on March 2021, the total funds which was there with the Indian banks was about like 150 trillion rupees, right? And that was growing for quite some time at 10 to 11 percentage. What is happening post March? It has come down to 9.7 percentage. Some of you may wonder, like, oh, it's like zero point 0.3 or 1.2, 1.3 percentage. Is it not too small? But understand it is on a 150 trillion rupee mark, right? So obviously it is a large number. So one side, the fixed deposit amount is going down. So the question is, why is this fixed deposit which is coming down? Why that uh, amount of money with the bank is actually coming down, and what it means to us? If you check, people go to the bank to keep fixed deposits predominantly because of the returns what the bank gives, right? So if you take one of the largest banks in India, which is SBI, right, it provides about 5 percentage interest rates, which is almost the lowest which we have ever heard of for a 1 to 2 year kind of tenure. So what is happening? Is it really 5 percentage? You need to drill down further to understand what these numbers means. When you say 5 percentage, the money actually has a inflation, right? I mean, the value of money comes down, which means there is something called as CPI, the Consumer Product Index, which indicates to what extent the money deteriorates. Right now, if you check, that is close to about 4.29 percentage, right? So effectively, 5 percentage minus 4.29 percentage is only about 0.71 percentage is what you get as a return if you keep the money with a bank. Is it low? Is it very low? Correct. So literally, you don't have any serious drive to keep your funds with the bank, right? Again, I'm telling you, don't get carried away with these numbers. Don't get say think too much about these numbers. I want you to understand the logic. I want you to understand the knowledge behind it, because that is something so important for all of us, which normally we have missed out in the past, right? So what you understand is the return on your fixed deposit goes down. Are you clear? Right? When you keep the money with the bank, it is not that exciting. So normally the tendency becomes what? People wants to take out the money, right? And unfortunately, banks have, huge pressure in the sense they get, actually they have a lot of money because uh, RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, also has allowed more liquidity with the bank. They actually that those areas will understand in future how banks get more money than normal, because how Reserve Bank controls banks and all those stuff. So there is a large amount of funds with the bank, and if you check, people wants to pull out the money, right? And as they take out the money, what happens? They need to keep the money somewhere, right? So alternate option, people assume it is mutual funds, because if you check the numbers on mutual funds is showing up that if you take in the month of May, right, 2021, the amount of money which was pumped into mutual fund is close to 9,200 crores, right? And that is one of the highest in the past 14 months. So why that numbers means a lot? Because people are literally moving the money from the fixed deposit and moving it into the mutual fund, assuming, because they see these two asset classes are almost the same. This is the crux of the learning which I want you to take away, right? Fixed deposit is seen as a safer option, right? It is assumed as a safe option. That's why people keep it low interest rate, all those things. And people think even mutual funds is as close as to fixed deposit when it comes to safety, right? Which I feel is a misconception, which I feel is not the right thought. This is a message, right? Why? Because as I have maybe mentioned in the past or something, mutual funds mostly lose money. Evaluating a mutual fund is a huge task. In the sense, if you check why it is a huge task, because identifying few out of maybe like 5,000 mutual funds or more is not a easy task. So you need to understand who is managing your fund, where are all the say industries they are actually investing, how much risk the fund manager is taking, what is the past performance of the fund manager. When you know the fund manager is taking a lot of risk because he's under